ladies and gentlemen. My name is Totalbiscuit of the WoW podcast, Blue Please on CynicalBrit.com. It's probably one of the scrappiest videos I've ever put together. It's got footage taken over multiple days due to server instability, and it's all over the place. Whatever the case, I want to try and put something that makes sense together. So, I'm actually back in Gelneus after having left it. The reason I did this was, well, a bit of curiosity more so than anything. My Hearthstone was still set to Stormglen, so I thought, can I go back to Stormglen, and in which case, what the hell's going on in Stormglen? As it turns out, nothing. This is an example of phasing in action. Everyone is gone. Yes, indeed they are. Only the Mastiffs remain, which I imagine is so that you can still go here and train those dogs if you happen to lose your pet. Now, the other reason I came back is there was a couple of areas on the map we didn't actually have a good proper look at. Now, since everything's phased and the battle for Gelneus at this point in time is supposedly over, we can have a look at the Greymane Wall, or what's left of it. You saw a little bit of this in the flyover, but not a fantastic look at it, so we'll have a look at that. And there's also a lighthouse area that we don't visit at all. It's just there for the sake of it, but it is on the map, so I want to go and have a look at it. That and hey, we can discover the Greymane Wall for the first time. Sadly, we can't really see through there, and there's also a lot of mist and fog, so it's unfortunate. We can head across the northern headlands right here, as you can see on the map, and that will take us over to that lighthouse. We will have a look at it, and then we will go back to the area around Darnassus. God knows what it's called. I don't know. It's a night elf area. When was the last time I was in a night elf area? I can think of the last time I was in a night elf area. It was about 4 years ago. We were ganking whoever the hell it is that... Was it, what, Tyrande Whisperwind? That's the one, yes. We went and killed her back in vanilla, and that was the only time I've ever been to Darnassus. I've never rolled a night elf in my life, and indeed, why would I want to? Let's go and have a look at the lighthouse, shall we? Sounds like a good idea. After that, I will show you something in regards to that little BlizzCon bag. You all seem to be a little bit obsessed with what's in it. You're going to be so disappointed. Oh, wow. This area serves no practical purpose whatsoever, yet you can access it. I suppose that's kind of neat, really. I don't think everything in-game really needs to serve a purpose. It doesn't have to be a quest hub, or an objective, or have something that's very important. It just has to be there. I'm okay with that, it makes sense. I mean, there's supposed to be a lighthouse around here, right? What you'll also notice is something kind of neat when we get to the top of this. I wish we could go all the way to the top, but we really can't. However, what you can see... Oh look, it's the Horde gunship once again. That's someone actually doing the event. Far as I can tell, the event sort of works like a public quest in Warhammer Online, whereby you have to wait for a certain number of people. I think there are examples in Wrath of that happening as well, if I remember correctly. I imagine it's determined as well by some kind of hidden timer. It says we're waiting for more people, but public quests didn't really work that way in Warhammer. It was always on a timed scale. Once the event finished, it cycled for around 5 or 6 minutes, and then it started again. And you could do them with just yourself there, but it would take forever, because it usually involved killing hundreds of mobs. It was a total pain in the ass. And down it goes. Now, Kiel Harbour you saw over the bay there. We're going to head over there and talk to Lord Boxhead, see what's up with him. Ah, dear, you bloody idiot. You've poked your eye out again. He got his eye back when he turned into a Worgen, and now he... Look, it's the way he waves that sword around. It's really dangerous. He's also lost his box. I have to wonder where that went. Okay, let's take us back to the Night Elf place. What am I looking for? I dropped my keys down there. You know, I'm never going to be able to get home from work now. I'll have to get the bus. Welcome to the village. Yes, indeed. I can't pronounce Night Elf names. It's just a thing of mine. It feels dirty. It kind of burns in the back of the throat when I attempt it, so I'm not even going to bother. Sorry, lifetime being Horde. Nothing I can do about it. It's a condition. It's a condition I'll happily live with, but it's a condition nonetheless. There you go. There's your new map. It's a big tree, I think. Looks like a big tree, I suppose.
I am honored.
Now, in what I consider to be a particularly pointless venture, the first quest is to go elsewhere. Yeah, it's okay. Even Blizzard accepts that this area is goddamn dull. What's in the bag, Mr... Oh, dear. That bag's just some giant troll, isn't it? That's horrendous. Someone at Blizzard was having fun. I am disappointed, what can I say? Right, let's just skip the mucking about and get on the Hippogriff. Where are we going, you might ask? Well, there's a couple of places we could go. One is, of course, the Darkshore. I would not recommend it. I've never done that flight before, so I decided at one point, hey, let's just get on that, instead of using, well, I don't know, the teleporter, which would have made more sense. That takes forever! God, how do you guys manage? No wonder no one ever goes there. You see, the Worgen has made his unlikely reappearance. And our first questing area, as you might have guessed, is in fact Darkshore, which is a mess. The grim dark of this zone is paramount and obvious. Follows on quite nicely from Gilneas, really, since that was a zone full of misery, suffering, and, well, rain. And by the looks of it, this is no different. Darkshore has been absolutely ravaged by the Cataclysm. Oberdeen is completely wiped out. They have a small encampment that they are managing to fortify, but only just. They're under siege by elementals, angry crabs, Jehovah's Witnesses. You know how it goes. Not a nice life to lead. Here we go. Welcome to Lordenvinder. Yes, indeed. What do they have for us? Is it exciting? Please say it's exciting. Well, first things first, we've got to go and try and rescue some survivors. This is nice, because, again, it's nicely scripted, and it seems to be continuing on just a little bit from the Gilneas zone. And it's grim. A lot of dead night elves, which I suppose is cause for celebration as a horde, but otherwise, if you're trying to RP your character in some way and get a little bit of immersion, you've got to feel a twinge of sadness. Plus, laughing's really insensitive and inappropriate. Well, this is one of the few safe areas in the entirety of this zone. A lot of unpleasantness going on. I should pick up a generic kill quest here as well. Now, please, allow me to answer a question that keeps getting asked. I cannot show you the Worgen mounts because there aren't any yet. Same reason why I can't show you the Goblin mount. You can see there's a Worgen. It's like level 50 or something. Don't know why he's riding around here. He's riding around in a cap because he's just had to pick up another mount. It's as simple as that. Worgen mounts are not in the game yet. Now, may I present to you the Welcome Elemental? Some of you may be aware of the Welcome Bear at the start of the Western Plaguelands. This is the Welcome Elemental. This is not a good idea at all. The NPCs don't seem to be doing too good a job, and oh look, I've pulled aggro. Enjoy my death. This thing hits fairly hard. Now, I was thinking, it's okay, I've got an imbalanced ability called Star Surge. Well, as it happens, I actually don't. Nice net. And it looks like got a bear tank in there as well. He must be fairly high level. Is that the level 50 or so from earlier? Or whatever the case, it's nice that he's tanking that for me. Yes, the Welcome Elementals. This is one way of getting vile sprays. I must say it's not the best way, honestly. There are loads of vile sprays in the ocean. I would strongly recommend you tackle those ones instead. Thank you, bear. Bloody irritating things as well. What you've also got to watch out for is if those sentinels get the killing blow, you don't tend to get credit. In fact, as you'll see here, there's vile sprays aplenty, but they're approaching the archers on the side of the encampment, and everything dies instantly. And you don't get any bloody credit for any of it. It's fairly irritating. See if we can go find another one. There we go, I've tagged that one. But it doesn't matter, because it looks like those arrows don't give you credit regardless. I don't know if that's just a way of making the quest a little bit harder, but it only succeeded in making the quest bloody irritating. One of those Welcome Elementals, I would like to stay out of the way of those. Now, bear in mind, of course, we're looking for survivors here as well, so I'm going to head over and see if we can find any. This is actually kind of a nice quest because it gives you a cool introduction to this zone and the fact that this zone has been ruined badly. It got hit very hard by the Cataclysm, and if you read the quest text, you'll notice that most of the guys evacuated from Oberdeen before it was wiped out, but a few stubborn night elves decided to stick around. And look where it got them. Yes, very dead, mostly. Combat is a little bit on the dull side without Star Surge. You can get it back. You had to unspec and respec once again, which is fairly irritating. That's the way the beta is right now. Ah, excellent. We found one of them at least. The neat thing about this quest is the Sentinels will actually fly in and say, "Hi, you're still alive, that's awesome." Nice bit of story there. This fellow, on the other hand, not so much. He's a bit dead. Pretty vivid description of death and destruction there. I do approve of the darker turn that WoW's been taking as of late. Wrath had quite a lot of this as well. I mean, there's a couple of quests in there with torture. It's quite dark, quite brutal. And you would expect it. At the end of the day, it's a big-ass dragon that's come to wipe out the entire planet. You don't expect it to be all happy sunshine and kittens. I'm going to be speeding up quite a few portions of this video simply because watching me spam Wrath is not all that entertaining. I decided, actually, after this, I'd go and spec into Feral instead, simply because, hey, Star Surge isn't working, and that was the only thing which really drew me to Balance to begin with. And now they've fixed Mangle. Although the description still says it has a 100-yard range, which is not remotely true. Shame, really. This zone continues to be in keeping with the way that Gilneas was in terms of the more traditional questing structure, as opposed to, say, the Goblin zones, whereby a bunch of gimmicks and vehicle quests and things like that. Ashara continued that trend, and Darkshore continues the Gilneas idea. I'm not convinced entirely by the zone in its current state. It's not bad. I think the problem is that you've got raised expectations. You've got an extremely strong starting zone across the board, heavily phased, a lot of scripting, a lot of cool things happen, and then you've got this, which really doesn't qualify as being anywhere near as good. I suppose one could argue that it's unreasonable to expect everything to be as good as those brand new remodeled starting zones. The problem is, if you're trying to keep people in past their trial, then you've got to bear in mind they're probably going to reach around level 20, not just level 10. So they're going to see this content, and they're going to spend quite a lot of time on it. And if this is the impression they get of the rest of the game, they might not feel so inclined as to continue. I know I probably wouldn't if I was in this scenario. The original time that I leveled up was back in vanilla at the start of EU, and I only managed to get to level 60 as a result of being in a guild. And it took me ages as well. I couldn't be bothered with it. The questing was dull and repetitive, and I kept saying to myself, why exactly am I wasting time doing this when I could be playing a single-player game that's got far more compelling content? I don't mean to single out WoW on its own. Almost every MMO suffers in this way. At some point, your brain comes around to thinking, well, why exactly am I paying money to do something that's so repetitive? Why would I do that?
How may I help?
It's a completely valid concern, really.
Farewell.
My guild is what kept me playing, and then the endgame content hooked me in, and that was the enjoyable stuff. Ah, that's where the box went. He stole it. What a bastard. But now you too can be Lord Boxhead. I suppose we've got to swear fealty to this guy now. Darius can go to hell. Now, I know beta is beta, but really, if you're going to put in an item, you'd think you'd use something old as opposed to a blue and white checkered box. Or maybe they did that on purpose, who knows? It's intriguing nonetheless. I do hope they leave that in. Maybe there's some item that can look similar to that. Maybe there's a hat with those checkered colours. That would be great for the actual release. A little bit of a treat for the beta testers. There you go, celebrate. I rescued the stubborn bastards that wouldn't move when it was sensible to do so. Are you serious? After an epic starting zone, what do they want me to do? Collect 16 encrusted clam mussels. Ugh. Tell you what, let's go to Darnassus. And I'm not going to show you the 10-minute flight, thank you very much. I'm going to the Druid Trainer because I'm going to respec. I tire of Balance, I've had enough of it, so let's respec into something else. We're going to go Feral this time around. Now that Mangle has been fixed, this will be okay. Now, it does say it's got a 100-yard range. I hate to disappoint you, it doesn't. In previous beta builds, it actually did have a 100-yard range, but all it seemed to do is pull everything within a 100-yard radius. I suppose that's a brand new Feral tanking ability. Might not be ideal for raids, somehow, I'm thinking. Yeah. Is to say, we're not going to try out Resto. There is really no point. Right, so we've got Predatory Strikes, which is quite nice. We've also got Heart of the Wild in the middle there. But what is that little kitty icon in the top left? I'll tell you, this is fun. Feral Swiftness at level 10, ladies and gentlemen. You can max it out by level 12, bearing in mind you're getting 1 talent point per 2 levels now. You get Cat Form at level 8. What does that mean? At level 12, 30% extra run speed. Yes. So very good for leveling. I can't see why you'd go anything else early on. So very convenient. This is going to make things much, much quicker. Right, we're done, so let me teleport you all the way back to wherever the hell that place was. Yes, that's the name of it, I'm sure. Why, hello there. The Inn of there. Stylish establishment. A little bit airy. Also covered in elementals. Not the best guests, honestly. Very loud. Parties till midnight. Terrible. Oh, we seem to have acquired a gnome. We can't seem to get rid of those damn things. What does he want us to do? He wants us to kill crabs. These next quests are really exciting, as you can see. But that's neat. That at this level? Oh, yes. Oh, yes, indeed. Alright, let's go for a swim. See what we can find. Ah, a present. For me? It's not even my birthday yet. Guess what this involves? Yes. Click Clam. Collect Clam muscle. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. Withkittens, the noble Worgen druid. Fought at the side of King Greymane, responsible for leading an army against the evil Sylvanus Windrunner, defending the city and the townsfolk from the horrendous plague, and indeed brought down a huge horde gunship. And what is he tasked with doing? Fishing for clams. And killing crabs. This, I think, is something Blizzard does need to address. If they're looking for immersion factor, they're not going to get it this way. You can't say you are a big hero and then suddenly have you doing menial tasks along this line. It doesn't work. This, if anything, even more so than the Ashara area, way more so, in fact, is going to cause trial players to quit. There's not a question about that. The fighting on the beach is pretty nifty, but then when they ask you to do something dumb like this, it's beneath you. Even at this low level. They started you off with the impression that you're some big hero, and then they just bring it crashing down. And if they're going to do that, they've got to at least do it in such a way that is compelling, and is part of the story. This is not it, at all. This is the Night Elves giving you dog work. Wait a second. Now, I did try and think of a way to make killing crabs and collecting clam muscles entertaining. Unfortunately, I couldn't do it. It's beyond my capabilities. We just don't have the power! And of course, this area also suffers from a similar problem to Ashara in that it gives you items that are not as good as the ones you got in the starting zone. That's a balance issue that needs to be addressed. A lot of the quests you're actually getting here are lower level. They end up being green, like level 10 to 11. That's pretty ridiculous. Now, could you tell me what exactly this guy's trying to achieve? Is he putting his arms out and going, booga, booga, booga? Because that doesn't work. I'm sorry, but what is this? An affirmative action program for retarded ancients? No, I'm thinking not. Well, I suppose it'll be nice for Halloween. Cover him in candy canes, give him a witch's hat. Great decoration. That's about all he is right now. Now, another example here of this remote questing, but they're not using the interface for it. It's just, hey, this NPC is actually the one you talk to, even though it's not really an NPC. Apparently, goblins and gnomes both have radio-style technology now. As if this couldn't get any worse, they want me to go find a decomposing bear and get a sample. No, really, they do. I couldn't make this up, even if I wanted to, and I certainly wouldn't. Ugh. Disgusting. I thought they smelled bad on the outside. Now, as much as I'd like to say you can go talk to the little radio box again, no. You actually go all the way back. Here is your decomposing bear carcass sample. What wonderful task do you have for me next, Mr. Gnome? And why aren't I just eating you? You look delicious, a tasty morsel for the Worgen. I would like to see that, actually. The Worgen race just goes and eats every gnome. Ugh, this is inconvenient. Bloody Cataclysm. I'm sure there used to be a nice bridge there. Now, it might sound like I'm complaining a lot, and that's because I am, honestly. This is not all that compelling. I'll continue with it, but really, when I'm being given quests that involve me going to collect samples of corrupted thistlebear guts, it's a little difficult to get excited. My name's Totalbiscuit. You've been watching Darkshore 1. I'm going to make the pain go away with some metal. Good night.